No, Margie, your cake didn't turn out so well because you misunderstood a term in your cookbook. You'll find that your cookbook contains many terms which pertain to cooking alone. It is necessary for you to know what these terms mean before you can interpret recipes properly.
We're used to dealing with barf bags like you.
The Morning Stream. Off, hairball.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to TMS. It's the morning stream for June 12th, 2025. I'm Scott Johnson. That's Brian Ibbett.
It is, Scott, it is.
Hello? Is it?
Hello.
Oh, gosh. Someone stop us before we become more cool than we've ever been.
Welcome to Talk Like an Idiot Thursday.
Yeah. My
News coming up on the top of the hour. Make sure you stick around for our say it and then play it giveaway coming up later. Your chance to win a new car.
If you were ever wondering why I wanted to start a morning show that was different than regular morning shows, that's the voice to remind you what you could have had, what it would have been. All right. So once in a while, Brian will remind you of just how good you've got it.
That's right.
All right.
That's right.
That's great.
We've got our big phone call coming up. You could win $100 if we call your number.
But then 10 more commercials before we do that.
And then 10 commercials. Let's hear one from Larry's Plumbing.
There you go. Hey, I found a way. This is going to sound stupid, and Dr. Tolton would probably have to send us another thing. But I found a way through the miracle of online ordering to curb. Okay, so I have this appetite thing where, I'm trying to be low on the shug, right?
Of course, yes.
Long couple years of this now. It's going good, generally speaking.
Doing well for you, yes, very, very much so.
Doing pretty good. My recent tests were great. Everything's good. I get this genetic tendency, blah, blah, blah. So... but here's one of the problems I have. Unless I have a little tiny something to get me through, I then crave things that are way worse for me.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So you know what I mean? So if I'm really being like, Scott, don't have anything, but then I see a thing of Oreos, I'm done for the day. Like I'm going to eat it.
I could really go for a donut hole. I think I'll go get a donut hole. Yeah. And then I see the big bag of regular donuts, or I see the donut shop, and I'm like, well, it wouldn't hurt for me to get an old-fashioned and a filled cream, Boston cream.
Yeah, and they're having a 3-for-2 deal, so I'll just go ahead and get a third one. And, you start to just go down a road. So I found a way to kind of curb this. For just 4 grams of sugar, which isn't very much. It's very small.
No, it's not much. Yeah.
Not much at all.
Don't have teaspoons, that is.
I got a big 400 count bag of Dum Dums. Nice. Look at these.
That's what you were noshing on during pre-show today, was a Dum Dum.
That's right. They're like cigarettes for me. I can't help it.
So you're not going to go the way of that kid, though, right? And order 200,000 of those on your doorstep from Amazon.
No. In fact, I kind of made a mistake because they have a 500 pack in Sam's Club for about $10 less than these, and I didn't know that. Kim chewed me out. She's like, "Why'd you get these on Amazon? We could have saved $10 over at Sam's Club." I'm like, "I don't keep track," but she does. Yeah. She's good at this stuff. So anyway, the idea is I give myself one of these early, and then one later in the day. Total of 8 grams of sugar, and then everything else I'm avoiding it. And you know what? It's kind of working. Like I don't crave it. I don't have the same cravings.
That's good. That's exactly what you want. That's why I do the got the Cleveland Plain dealer jar that I got, when I went there and did the install. And in it, you'll find these little chocolate candies that somebody sent us that are really, really good. These Copico coffee candies.
Those are great. Yeah. And look, you're still going through them because you've got this piecemeal approach. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the atomic fireballs and Pacholik knows my love for the atomic fireballs. These things are, I don't know how, they're low in sugar, and basically, they can just sit. I'm trying to figure out a way to say I can just suck on them for a long time, but
there you
go. Not say those exact words because somebody's going to copy that out and take it out of context.
Yeah. It's too bad we don't have anybody in our community that copies out audio.
That edits audio and stuff like that. Nobody that does mashups or anything. No. Anyway.
Or makes it part of his persona. Literally his name online has the name mashup.
His name online.
Yeah, it's fine.
Exactly.
It's all good.
But those, I'll be working and it's like I could go upstairs and I'll get a freaking Pepperidge Farm cookie. Tina doesn't help with these things. She's listening, not right now, but she'll
hear this.
Listen to this show later on and love her more than life itself. Couldn't imagine my life without her. All that stuff, but but she buys freaking Sugar Smacks cereal. She buys Lucky Charms. She buys Pepperidge Farm cookies every time around. February, we get a bunch of boxes of Girl Scout cookies. I kind of help with that.
Yeah, that's one I struggle avoiding because what are you gonna do? I'll get the shortbread. The shortbreads aren't as bad, so I try to.
The shortbreads are great. Yeah. I take one cookie and I crumble it up in some Greek yogurt. Freaking magic, right there.
Wait a minute. Why have I not ever tried that? That sounds really good.
Oh my gosh, it's the best. It's the best. Adds a little bit of crunch, a little bit of texture to the Greek yogurt, and a little bit of sweetness, but not a lot. It's great.
I'm doing that next time. That's a great idea. Yeah, my wife does the same thing. It's like, well, who are these for? And she says, well, they're for the kids, you dummy. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm here. I exist here. So if I walk past a table and there's a big thing of crumble cookie, whatever, what do you expect me to do? And I'm being better about it because, again, these are great. It's just like it's like a cigarette,
Yeah.
Just a quick, oh, I'm okay now. I got my nicotine hit. I'm all right for the rest of the day. And I didn't really, I didn't spike anything. It's fantastic.
No, that's a good way to do it. It's a very good way to do it. You know what I don't like about Dum Dums? The way the paper stick gets...
The instant liquefaction of the stick.
Exactly. It's the same reason that conservatives hate paper straws, basically. It's like it gets really soggy, it gets really warped and soggy and kind of useless. But it's the, if I could just, I position the Dum Dum in my mouth so that the Dum Dum is right at the edge of the mouth because I don't want any saliva soaking that paper stick.
Yep.
So
I've heard it described before as appetizer, main course. Because this thing immediately gets soggy. You end up with paper in your freaking mouth. That ain't good. That's not good for anybody.
Yeah. You ever eat paper?
And like if these were plastic, they'd not be as cheap. But if these are like, little plastic sticks, and yes, I know, not as good for the environment. I get it. But if they were, I'd put that whole thing halfway down my throat, if you know what I'm saying. There's another one, Jamie. Use it.
Exactly. Alamo Drafthouse. So Alamo Drafthouse is brilliant. And again, I keep raving about this place. We really should get a sponsorship with these guys. I don't know why we don't.
Yeah,
although honestly, why would they pay for what we're apparently giving away for free? But they know that if you don't get a straw in your drink, in your big plastic tumbler of water or Diet Coke or Coke Zero, what I get, whatever, that once you get down to those little bottom remnants of your drink, as you tip it back, the ice goes, and then as you put your cup back down, right?
Every time.
So they always say, do you want a straw? They don't automatically give them to you. Great. But here's the cool thing about the Westminster location anyway, bamboo straws, biodegradable bamboo straws.
Oh.
And they're freaking great. I've got a metal straw that I've got that like collapses and comes with a little washing brush and stuff. And I was taking that for a while. But once they switched to the bamboo straws, I'm like, okay, I feel better about what I'm getting.
Oh, that's awesome. And the fact that they offer you these, anytime somebody offers you them instead of just giving them to you by default, I appreciate that because sometimes I don't need them. And then if they're going to bring them to you and you don't use them, they're going to throw them away, and it doesn't solve the problem. You ever try one of those agave straws? They tend to be pretty good for about 5 minutes.
Oh no!
And then they start to deteriorate because they are organic and they're made of real agave fruit husk or something.
Cactus, or something, whatever the.
But by the time your drink's 10 minutes old, you got a little bit of a fuzzy straw, and I'm not down with a fuzzy straw.
No, I'm not down with a fuzzy straw either.
So if you're quick, if you really hork it and you're done, that's fine.
Yeah,
you could do that. Yeah. Well, anyway. It's good stuff. Hey, you did what? What happened to your? You saw the keynote? How'd it go?
I did. I watched the keynote. I mean, I didn't go to it, Scott, but I watched it.
That's too bad.
I put it on here while I was doing some stuff with the 3D printer. I'm printing out a bunch of stuff, as I mentioned, for Greg. Oh my God, the base of this TIE Fighter thing just came out so gorgeous. Like, I've really dialed in the settings on this this new Anycubic printer, and it just keeps reminding me, like, wow, the something definitely was happening with the quality of my previous printer that just happened so slowly. I didn't realize it until it really gotten bad. But I've been printing out these things for him, and so it's a matter of like, okay, that print is done. Slice it off the plate, get it into the alcohol bath, get the plate cleaned up, put it back on, start the next print, blah blah blah. Oh, fill up the thing. I was getting out some resin, a new bottle of resin, a 1 kilogram bottle of resin.
Okay.
And
did you hear that, Europeans? Kilogram, you like that?
Yes, a 1 kilo,
Yeah.
a 1 kilo bottle of resin.
Awesome. We're living their life now. This is good.
And you take off the cap, and there's like a foil cover on it to protect the resin. Very good. Send it back if the cap is damaged anyway. And my problem with the resin, or with the foil cap, is there's not like, you almost want like a tab on one side so you can peel it off very easily. Not get anything on your hands, not get any... not get any resin on your fingers, anything like that. And if you use, I have a little a scraper that has a pointy edge to it, and I would use that to kind of like cut the resin bottle open, but then you're left with a chunk of foil that kind of hangs off, and as you try and pour it, that little chunk affects the flow of the liquid coming out of the bottle and can kind of run things to the wrong space.
Sure.
The wrong place. So so what I did this time, like, oh, this is brilliant. I'll use an X-Acto knife just to cut vertically around the inside. I can clean off the blade very easily with a paper towel, not get anything on my fingers, and have a nice clean opening in the bottle to pour into. Which is exactly what I did. Took the cap off, took a little X-Acto knife, cut around the top, set the got the paper towel, wiped off the X-Acto knife, bumped the resin bottle, which dumped onto the floor.
Oh! I liked where this story was going. That didn't go where I thought it was going to go. Shit.
Yeah. And
carpet or hard floor, or what are we doing?
Chair mat, fortunately.
Okay.
Mostly 99% chair mat. So immediately like, immediately like expletives up the wazoo. Sounded like a Tarantino film for a minute.
Oh my gosh.
But I picked up the bottle, got it upright. It had dumped about a third of its contents. 333 grams of resin all over the plastic floor. Got it up onto a paper towel that I already had up there for just to clean off the side, but realized, oh no, I'm going to need 1,000 more paper towels.
That's a lot. That stuff's
for
really,
all this.
Did you have to wear any kind of, like, I don't know. I obviously wearing gloves.
I immediately put on a breather, but here's the problem. The resin on the chair mat was kind of, and I was barefoot. I got some on my clothes. Oh yeah. So that was step number one. Step number one was, let's see, which order did I do this? So I had some on my feet, but I was able to kind of step on a couple spots of the chair mat and get over to where the paper towels were to pull off like 20 sheets of paper towels.
Oh my gosh.
And then pulled the trash can over and then wiped my feet and then took off my shirt and pants, or shorts. I was wearing shorts at the time. Took off my shirt and shorts. So I'm sitting there in my underwear in my maker lab, blotting the resin off of those and hanging them on the side of the door so that they're not touching anything. Okay, feeling good about all this. And then it's really just a matter of wadding up, or not wadding, but like folding over a few sheets of paper towel and like picking up handfuls of resin and throwing them in the trash. My God, it was, and then spray bottle of IPA of 99% alcohol, spray, clean. How about this over here? Oh yeah, spray, clean that, spray this, clean that. My God, what a freaking mess. That
you almost had to call like FEMA or something. That's a lot.
I feel like I did exactly. And then open the freaking windows with the fan and just get as much of the odor. Close the door. So Inara was in a different part of the basement. So I'm like, all right, good. I'm not letting her in here for so many reasons, but get the door closed so she doesn't get in there and breathe any of this crap. And very Walter White, totally right down to the down being in my underwear dealing with this. Like I felt like I was in the Winnebago with Jesse going, "Science, bitch." Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, you got any neighbors going, smells like meth house?
Yeah, exactly.
Call the cops. Think Brian's up to something.
Phil Fisk says, time for a really big silicone mat under your print station. Dude, I've got, you're not kidding. I've got these big black silicone mats and then slat mats, which are great. Silicone mat that goes under my print station. And then these slat mats that I got, those I got from online. What is it? Wham Bam, I think, makes them. These are great. So you get resin on them.
Yeah. You
can either clean them off with alcohol and paper towel or take them outside. The UV, the sunlight hits it, hardens the stuff immediately, and you just brush it off into the trash.
Is it called Wham Bam?
Wham Bam is the company.
They make mats?
They make mats. They make a whole bunch of 3D printing stuff.
Oh, that sounds awesome. Is Wham
for
Bam
you
systems.
For you Irish listeners, a chair mat is when you work in an office and you have a desk or a chair that rolls on the floor.
Yeah.
They have these plastic mats that you can get so your chair can roll smoothly. That's the Wham Bam mat is that orange thing that he's
gotcha. That
he's wiggling around.
Okay,
yeah.
So they got a whole bunch of crap. Looks like metal stuff.
They do.
Rubber mats.
Yeah.
What if this material is? I love the look of like that silicone, loose silicone.
It's so cool. Yeah, the slat mat it's like that perfect silicone silicone, I don't know, flexibility and softness and movement. You can easily tell if there's anything on there.
I love stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, Claire, if you have carpet, more importantly, if you have like a thick pile of carpet, you're not moving. Your chair is not going to move very cleanly over it. So
yeah.
Offices will get these chair mats and the one I had under here, I moved it into the print room and I'm so freaking glad I did.
Yeah. Good Lord, man.
Yeah.
Well, all right. I'm glad everything worked okay. You didn't lose any body parts or melt your face or anything bad like that. So
exactly.
Nicely done. Hey, Dave.
What a pain in the butt.
It is a pain in the butt. Dave in Canada, not a pain in the butt. Dave in Canada has something he wants to say. This is some music thing, and I forgot what it was. We'll just play it. Here we go.
Hey, Scott and Brian, it's Dave from Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, calling in regards to TMS 2387, paging Dr. Butt. And the indie in the middle song, Brian said it sounded kind of retro. It actually was a cover of a 1978 song by a Canadian group called Prism. Spaceship Superstar. So technically, the song could have been at the end of the show, but Brian didn't know that it was a cover. And that's cool. You can't know everything. But anyways, love the show, though.
Oh, a little
wow,
calling Brian out. I remember liking
glad.
that one a lot and thinking, oh, this is very
so
retro.
Cool.
It's really cool. But
how come Dave sounds like a Canadian Graham Norton?
Yeah, you do.
He really sounds like a Canadian Graham Norton.
Play that again.
Hey, Scott and Brian, it's Dave from
Weird.
Yeah. You heard a little bit?
Yeah, like the accent got pulled and changed a little bit, and there he is.
A little bit. Dude, thanks for letting me know. God, I feel like I remember the band Prism more for the more for an album cover. It seemed like, I'd go to record stores and I'd flip through the bins.
Sure.
And you'd always end up at like the catch-all single letter bin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
like I'd be looking for, there it is right there. It is the pyramids, I think. I'm pretty sure that was the one. I'll give you a link to pull it up unless you're doing it.
No, you can put it in. I don't have it. They'll bump us.
But I'd always end up in like the catch-all single letter bin. Like, here are all of the P records for bands that just had one album. And
yeah.
Let me see here. Let me get a better image of it.
Our Raspberry Records had that. You'd go to, they were always like tucked away at kind of the ugly end of the aisle.
Yeah.
It was alphabetical, and it was a little like looking for old bad comics in a long box or something like that. Is what it reminded me of. But
yeah, it totally was. Oh, thank you for bumping our.
Yeah, no worries.
There we go. Paste. That's the Prism album that I absolutely remember. It's like.
Oh my
Hey,
gosh, look at that.
Somebody not paying attention might think this is Dark Side of the Moon.
Yeah. I remember this too. It's very Floydy.
Yeah.
That's Pink Floyd as hell.
It's super Floydy. Yeah, it's because you've got the prism and the rainbow from Dark Side of the Moon, but then there's like a little bit of a what were the Hypnosis album covers? Wish You Were Here.
Mm-hmm.
There's a very Wish You Were Here kind of feel to
Something
that
about the hand and the way it's touched up and almost airbrushy. There's something there. Something very, very specific to the era.
Yeah.
I remember that album. Yeah. In the P.
Yep.
Where is it? It's in the P's. Anyway.
Oh my God. And See Forever Eyes. I think George had all of these albums.
Oh, really?
I'm
Your Uncle
looking
George?
at, yeah. They put out a lot of albums. Young the Restless, All the Best from Prism, Small Change. Okay, he didn't have these.
Young the Restless?
Yeah, they had an album called Young and the Restless.
Oh my gosh, dude. Sounds like they were trying to grab people's eye with different.
Like you might think this is actually the soundtrack to Young. I guess it's just called Young and Restless. Yeah.
It's a little close. That's funny. We got also a recommendation from Jen who wrote in, and it says call, but it's not a call, it's a text. And she says this: Hey, Scott and Brian, I just listened to episode 2837 and your recommendals. Nicole recommended the Wild Crime documentary, which reminded me of a movie I saw a while ago called Population Zero. It is a mockumentary about a guy who killed 3 people in a remote part of Yellowstone National Park, but goes free due to legal loopholes. If people enjoy Wild Crime, they'll probably enjoy Population Zero. I think you can watch it on Prime or Tubi. I've never heard of this.
No, and it's a mockumentary, so it's a satire comedy about a dude who killed 3 people in a part of Yellowstone.
I don't always love those. Like I'm kind of good mockumentaries are amazing, right? Like anything Christopher Guest did, or they're better. There are other examples, but to get me, you really got to get me. This review's. It's a little middling. I don't know. I might check it out. It's on Tubi, like she said.
Yeah.
So, Jen, thanks for the recommendation.
The movie, by the way, that I was trying to remember earlier is called The Grand, which is the movie with it's like it is a mockumentary about a poker.
It's called The Grand.
The Grand, yes.
Is that the name of a fake casino? Because I love fake casino.
I think it's the contest is called The Grand, the poker contest.
Let's say right here.
Nope, that's definitely not it.
Nope.
It's not a Merchant Ivory film.
No. Let's see. It's not coming up. 2007.
Right
David
the
Cross.
yellow. Yep.
Oh, I thought this was a real. Well, you're saying is it a mockumentary? Or is it just regular movie?
It's a mockumentary.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Woody Harrelson, David Cross, Dennis Farina, Richard Kind, Chris Parnell, Jason Alexander, Ray Romano. I mean, Judy Greer, Michael McKean. This. It's got some great moments to it.
Ooh, Harrelson with long hair. Weird.
Yeah. It's like, it feels like the Kingpin, but the poker world kind of thing.
It's Zach Penn. He wrote the Avengers and Incredible Hulk, a bunch of X-Men shit. This guy's a big deal, and he directed that. I've never even heard of this. Wild. It's
it would almost make a great. It's comedy, but it doesn't hit every joke. But but it does follow these. I'm looking like IMDb shows the trailer, while you're sitting there.
Yeah.
And David Cross is the one who has the website of like pokerstars.com site with .com spelled out. Oh, it's great.
Right.
I have
marked it as a thing to see. So
don't expect it to hit every joke. Like not every joke hits perfectly, but it's really, really good.
Worth checking.
Yeah. Worth checking out.
All right.
Oh, yeah, Ray Romano and Cheryl Hines are a married couple. She's the poker pro.
Oh, if any of you want to see a good Ray Romano, Phil Rosenthal, and then I forgot the guy that played the brother on Everybody.
Yes.
Has the comedy club in Vegas.
Right, exactly.
Was on Seinfeld once. Does the voice of the pufferfish and Finding Nemo. Brad Garrett.
Brad Garrett. Well done.
Good job, McFerrick. Anyway, the three of them are eating in the new Phil, Better Feed Phil, or Someone Feed Phil.
Oh, really?
Thing. Yeah. So they're hanging out in
cool.
Amsterdam, looking like three old 3 old Jewish codgers having beef or something. I don't know what they're doing. Anyway, we saw that last night and thought, oh, that'll be a thing to watch. Anyway, here is Dr. Tolbert with he's got to weigh in on the pee up the nose thing. Okay.
Yeah.
For those that didn't hear the show, it's maybe not what you think, but anyway, here it is.
Good morning, gents. Your friendly neighborhood family doc swinging by again to make a correction concerning my last phone call. At the end of the discussion, I said the word thyrostomy, which is incorrect. I should have said tracheostomy, since we're poking holes into the trachea and not the thyroid. I misspoke, and I wanted to make sure I corrected that error. I also wanted to weigh in on the pee in the nose incident from 11 June. While the pee would not be in any serious danger of passing into the sinuses, since the channels between the nose and the sinuses are really narrow, unless you've had surgery to enlarge them, a pee stuck in the nasal passages, and especially under the turbinates, could absolutely cause a bad week. Organic matter is excellent food for microbes and serves as a great place to hide from the immune system and our other defenses. So getting that pee out is definitely a huge priority. Interestingly, the way Scott did it is similar to what we would do for children in the same conundrum. We will have the parents hold their mouth shut and blow into the opposite nostril from the obstructing object, often blowing the offending item free and preventing further trauma. So here's hoping that the things that don't belong in your orifices remain outside of your orifices. And an orifice is the natural opening in opposition to an ostomy, which is an opening that we made. And if you need anything else, don't hesitate to page me.
Okay, so they actually blow this. The poor kid has to have this had done. You close their mouth, so you're forcing them to breathe through their nose. Yeah. You plug up the one thing, shove air through there, which goes and pulls out, it blows it out the other end. That poor kid.
I know.
I mean, it's better than them getting an infection and having all kinds of problems, but
of course, but my gosh. Yeah.
Poor kid. You can't put him to sleep.
Just visualizing, just imagining the feeling of that. Like, poor kid. Yeah.
Damn. Never had to do that to any of the kids that I know of. I'm trying to think if we ever had anything. Well, we had our own traumas. Carter almost broke her neck. Taylor had a kidney operation, and Nick had, what did Nick do? Appendicitis. He got lucky. Oh, when he broke his elbow once. So there's that. Kids, how do they work?
We were pretty lucky with Tristan, all things considered, I guess.
Yeah, well, good job. Did he no major injuries or medical?
No. Amazingly enough.
He still have his appendix?
We instilled him with a healthy amount of fear. Still has his appendix, yeah.
Nice. Hang on to that for dear life.
Just the tooth thing, like how he broke a tooth, and then the adult teeth came in kind of fused together, so they had to break those in his mouth to separate them. And
that sounds awful.
Okay, so that there you go, right there.
That's pretty traumatic. I guess
pretty unpleasant.
They probably numbed him for that, but still.
Yeah.
The needles.
He was well knocked out for that.
Yeah. Nick had soft teeth when he was born, so they immediately got like cavities. Like at age,
like
a year into his life, he's got cavities into these brand new teeth. So they had to do root canals on a baby. Well, basically a toddler. Yeah,
a toddler. Oh my gosh,
it was awful.
Oh, because they don't understand. I mean, why they're having to deal with this and all that.
No,
oh, jeez.
But he's got great teeth now. So good job on the adult teeth, Nick. You did it, buddy.
Yeah.
Brian, tell me your story about the scavenger hunt that we were.
Yeah, I told you I'd tell this story after that recommendal from Nicole yesterday about the treasure hunters going after this thing. I'll make this quick because I know we got we're close to the top of the hour. Back in the 90s, there was this game called The Stone. It was an online game, but you went to the store, you went to the game store, and you bought a physical pendant. Came in a little pyramid-shaped box. And the pendant had 6 little symbols on it that were unique to that pendant, or maybe there were 2 like it anywhere in the world.
This it right here?
I think that's it right there. That looks like it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And you'd go to their website, and then you'd plug in those 6 codes, and it would give you access to this library of games called The Immediate. And each one was like its own little here's a weird photo of something, or here's a weird diagram of something, figure out what we're looking for. And you'd have a little space to enter in your answer as to what they're looking for, and type it in, and it would say, that's right, and it'd give you some information about that, or it'd be like, that's not quite what we're looking for. And some of them were really complicated and tough, required a lot of research and stuff like that.
Sure.
But about about 6 months into them starting to do this thing, they said, "Hey, we're going to do an IRL mission. We're going to hide something. We're going to hide a treasure somewhere in the U.S. And if you find it, you get a prize."
Okay.
And it's part of a little, online scavenger hunt with a physical aspect to it.
Sure.
I'm like, cool. They post the first photo, and I look at and immediately go, "Oh my God, we're living in Cherry Creek, just outside in Denver at the time. Tina and I were just married, and I look at this thing and I'm like, I know exactly where that is. That is on the bike path towards the Cherry Creek Mall. I see the little shape of the parking garage, a little corner of it, and it's a zoomed in photo, but I'm like, that's the corner of the parking garage there." Yeah. And so the first chance I get, hop in the car, drive over to where I feel like the picture was taken, and there's a tree right there. I'm like, all right, I'm going to start digging. And I'm in a public park with a freaking shovel digging at the base of this tree, and people are riding by on their bikes, and nobody called the cops on me or anything. But I'm digging, no treasure, no prize.
Okay.
So I kind of pack things up and go back. And I even post in the forums, I'm like, I know where this is. I don't say where it is, but I'm like, I know where this is. And I think I even say, "Hey, stone people, I dug at this exact location, didn't find anything. Do you have any more details?" And they're like, they did no response or something.
Yeah.
So, I kind of go back there a couple times. I kind of just look and see if there's any changes there. No. And then about a week after I figured out where it was, another guy posted in the forum, "I found the treasure." And he, because I had posted and had my name in it, he was able to look up where I live. He was in Fort Collins or something, came down to the area, saw the corner of the parking garage, and it was apparently between the time that I went there and dug and when he went there that the stone people actually put the prize in the ground, like really close to the ground, apparently, to the point where, if you're looking for it, you'll find it very easily. But they didn't think anybody would find it as quickly as I did, so they didn't bother putting it in that place until they were going to release the second picture.
Oh, shit.
So this guy got a gas-powered generator.
So he wasn't. Nobody planned on you being so hardcore. Is what really this boils down to.
Nobody thought that anybody playing this game would recognize the photo from the original, from the very first photograph that was so tight in and abstract that they're like, well, we won't worry about putting the prize in until we do the second photo.
That's freaking funny, dude.
It soured me the hell on doing the rest of the stone. Like,
yeah,
I had, the puzzles are great, and I just could not bring myself to play that effing game anymore.
It would have pissed me off really bad.
Really, really pissed me off.
They were called stoners. If you play this game, it says a player of the stone was often called a stoner. And then there's actually a movie about this called Stoners.
Really?
Yeah, it might be worth finding. I don't find a link to it here, but somebody made a movie about it. Might be fun to dig in and see what's about.
Oh, I've got to find it. So the movie's called Stoners. That seems like it'll be really easy to find.
Yeah,
Jeez.
They got shut down in 2008, looks like, went away. So.
Yeah, but they've moved all the puzzles over to Scarecrow's Field. So if you do a search for Scarecrow's Field, it's a free. You can access all the online puzzles for free. Just create an account and you can see what these things were. But
wild.
I contacted them. They're like, sorry, that's just no guarantees or something like that. There was some bogus response, and it just immediately turned me off to the whole thing altogether.
All right, this got even weirder. That movie has a soundtrack provided by Pink Floyd.
Oh, really?
Pink Floyd, yep. Let's see. Did the soundtrack to all the music are variations from the Division Bell album.
Oh.
That's kind of
weird.
Sort of a big deal, right?
That's a huge deal.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised by that.
What a bizarre get. Like, I wonder how they are arrange that situation.
Oh,
Jeez.
you'll love this. In April 2021, several stone artifacts, like the one that you were robbed of, were released for sale in NFT form. So somebody owns them now in NFT form.
Oh, jeez. There you go. Well, good. All right. Now I feel fine. Yeah, if anyone, I had no idea there was a movie. Dude, if anyone can find this actual movie, it's a hard thing to, you do a search for stoner movies and you basically just get Seth Rogen's entire library. But if anyone can find this movie, I want to see it. I definitely want to see it.
It's got to be out there, right? See, stoner. No, that's not it. This is hard to find.
It is.
Oh, I think I found it on IMDb.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah,
okay.
Documentary. I'll share the link with everybody. Yeah. I'll put it in the chat, and then you can grab that one too. Cool. Documentary looks at the diverse group of people who played the game The Stone. Brian not in the credits. He should be.
Yep.
It's reviewed good. It's up almost 8 out of 10.
Yeah, with 23 people seeing it.
Well, yeah, it's probably a little low rent. But I don't know where you'd catch it, though. That's the hard bit.
I know.
Well, anyway, there it is. The Stoners. No, just Stoners. 2004.
Look at who Carol Bennett plays, by the way, in the cast.
Red Fraggle. I don't know what to do with today's information. This is all freaking me out.
I don't know. Is this real life? What is going on here?
Pink Floyd involved. One of our own in it.
Yeah. At first, I thought that said Carol Burnett, by the way, is playing Red Fraggle.
Carol Burnett, who you were just talking about the other day, too. Oh, no! There's more!
Oh, no!
All right, that's very weird. Well, congratulations, Brian, on exposing the real stone problem.
Yeah, exactly. So, boy, again, if anyone out there can help me find this movie, written by Richard Wright and David Gilmour. Crazy.
That's crazy. That's really weird. Maybe they were into it.
Canada.
Maybe they were way into it or something.
Yeah. Maybe.
That's wild. Chat says, look at the main character. Are they talking about that one?
They're talking about Red Fraggle.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Thought it was somebody else. Look at all these dumb names. Flinker, Chrisfish, Dark One. I guess these are their online names.
These are their names in the forums and stuff. I'll bet you the damn dude who got my generator. Not like I really want a generator. I would have ever used it, but still.
Do you think it was Flinker or Magic Man that got your generator?
I think it was the guy who's just on there is Gary.
Yeah. Gary got the generator.
That's right.
All right. We're going to do some quick news, and then we're going to talk to my sister. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
So stick around for that. First, though, this. It's time for the news, brought to you by
Coverville. Yes, Virginia. There will be a Coverville today. We got to pay tribute to Sly and the Family Stone. We lost Sly Stone earlier this week. And then yesterday we lost Brian Wilson. So it's going to be a double tribute. Sly and the Family Stone and Beach Boys covers. But it won't be at noon because I got to get a ride in before it turns into 85-degree weather. So ride first, right after TMS, and then Coverville this afternoon, maybe closer to 4 o'clock, 3:30, 4 o'clock. This is one of those times that you definitely want to go to Twitch, twitch.tv/Coverville, and sign up to get notified when I go live, and that way you'll get notified.
There you go. A little later today. Show. Yeah, and we'll be about done with core then, so it'll be a perfect time to switch over.
Great.
Yeah.
We'll transfer over. Perfect. Yep. Excellent.
Watch for that. That'll be great. Hey, a bazaar. I'll say it right now. Abadazar. New coffee flavor, and it's spelled FLAVOUR. So we know this is from.
So you know it's got to be yes.
This is from Vegan News. By
somewhere across the pond.
Exactly. A new flavor set to take cafes by storm in 2025. The question is, would we try it? This is what we're getting. They're going to add, shallots or spring onions to your latte. An onion latte. How you feel about that?
I'm not a fan. I'm already not liking this. Onion latte, no.
Where are you stand on onions in general? Like, where are you at with those?
I love onions. Grilled up some this morning to put in an egg, basically an egg omelet with a little bit of cheddar cheese. Yeah. Big fan of onions.
Yeah, same. But coffee,
not in my latte, though.
Especially a latte. And, it's got milk in there.
Yeah, like I do the, I've tried the shot of, or half shot or whatever it is of olive oil in coffee.
Yeah.
not a fan of that either. But
yeah, a lot of
definitely
people
not a fan of this.
The mushroom thing people put in there now, it's tolerable, but it all tastes weird when you add these things in there.
Yeah,
But if you want some dried onions or shallots or spring onions in your latte, good news, it's coming. Most have it chilled as an onion iced latte. Some have it heated up or warmed as a spicy treat. Making me cringe. But the most popular new trend is crackling latte, where chocolate is spread on the inside of a plastic cup and hardened in the fridge. Well, that sounds all right. Chocolate,
that
frozen.
sounds okay. Yeah.
They buried the headline here.
No kidding.
It says
White
coffee's poured
where
inside.
chocolate is spread on the inside of a plastic. Okay, gotcha. So basically, it's just I mean, it's just basically drizzled into the sides so that it freezes, kind of like a dipped cone at Dairy Queen.
Yeah, same idea. And then when they squeeze, it says here when they squeeze it, the shells crack and it can kind of blend into your coffee. And so you got a nice little. That makes sense to me.
Sure,
that makes perfect sense to me. This thing with the onions and the shallots.
Yeah.
What kind of monster are you to do that to anyone?
What happened to you in life?
Also, what benefit is there other than if you're really into the flavor?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
There isn't any. Here's another one. I like this one a lot. There's a video going around where a dog only responds to cake, the word cake, since its birthday celebration.
Okay.
Yeah, this dog will not do anything. It's a golden retriever. His name is Boone. He refuses to go inside of the house until his owner offers to give him some cake. And it's left the internet in stitches.
Of course it has. The internet just can't get enough of this dog.
I hate it. I hate when they do that. The internet melts down over a post, but no, nothing melted down. Literally, a few ones and zeros were transmitted, and a whole bunch of people saw it. That's it. There's no melting down.
Yeah.
I hate those.
Exactly.
I hate that hyperbole when people talk about the internet. It's like George Clooney colored his hair, and the internet had a condition fit.
Yeah.
No, it didn't.
Right. No.
A credit card
Somebody responded
transactions.
with the frowny face emoji.
Yeah, that was it. I hate that. I don't know why they're allowed to do that. It's annoying. Anyway,
and really, this is the owner's fault. You kowtowed to the dog once, and you offered it cake to come inside. You've done it to yourself. You've basically made this dog addicted to cake. You're gonna have to face it. He's addicted to cake.
Yeah, and you're gonna have to train him out of it. It's not the dog's problem. It's not the dog's fault. You did that. You're absolutely right. Brian is right. The dog did this, or the guy did this, and the dog is not
exactly.
The dog is not the one to be given crap. Although maybe the dog likes Cake the band. I don't know. I have no idea.
Oh, there you go.
I love this website, Dog Time. I love it.
Only stories about dogs. Our Google alerts are on point.
That's right. Dogtime.com. What else we got? Big scary dog transforms into a baby when owner shows him love. Well, I mean, but that's it.
It's really just a Doberman pinscher that basically is always that calm and cool. He just looks intimidating.
You know what? F Dog Time. I'm just saying.
Oh, Dog Time.
Yeah, you're the worst. It's a great domain, but terrible use.
I'm gonna buy the domain dogtime.com.site.
Do it.
and usurp all of their articles.
Make a T-shirt out of it. You can change the world.
Exactly. Right.
All right, we're gonna take a break. When we come back, my sister Wendi will be here, and we'll talk about an email. We got a big one, a long one.
Yes, we do.
But a really well written one. I'll say that.
Very well written. Oh my gosh.
It's extremely
very
structured
articulate.
well. Yeah, it's very good. Whoever did this, we'll tell you who it was because she says we can. But anyway, that's all coming up after this song Brian's got for the middle of the thing here. Indie in the middle.
Yeah. Boy, sometimes there's just so much information that a band sends along with their song that it takes me forever to read it and kind of parse out the information that needs to be relayed to tell you, like, where they're from or what album. Is this their first album? Is this their fourth album? Are they touring? All that stuff. I'm about to tell you about a band called the Archimedean Point and their brand new album, Paper Street Icon, and that is all the information I have. They are an unsigned indie band that's really good, but biography, empty. Band info, empty. So here you go. It's almost like that Stoners movie. If you love it, and you probably will once you hear this song, go out and find some more information about it. The song is called Rumble Strip. Again, the album is called Paper Street Icon. Here's the band, the Archimedean Point.
Hey, look, this may be your last time, but it certainly isn't my first. Just roll a card down the hill and I'll come up from behind and I'll give you a little tap.
Hey, I got a black belt in karate.
And we're back. Who was that again?
Sure, that's the Archimedean Point, and from their brand new album called Paper Street Icon, that was the song Rumble Strip, and that's all the information I have.
Fantastic. All right, you guys, time for some of this.
Psychosomatic, that boy needs therapy. Purely psychosomatic, that boy needs therapy. Lie down on the couch.
It's too early for a fish sandwich.
Says you, but let's find out what Wendy, my sister, says, the actual practicing therapist who comes in on Thursdays and helps you guys with your problems. Hi, Wendy, how are you?
Hi, good.
Good.
How are you guys?
Yeah, we're good.
We're good.
Are you?
Do I sound all right?
Yeah,
We're in a new place.
Yeah,
a little muffled.
A little muffled, but I think that's just your. That might just be where your mic is. Here, let me try something here on you. Okay, now try it.
All right. Hi, can you hear me?
A little better. Give me a little more.
Hi.
Let's try this. Let me try
It's
this.
fun for everyone.
Oh, that was better.
Whatever you just did.
You moved your head or something.
Does that sound better?
Much better.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Wow.
1,000 times better.
I think my mic was in my shirt.
That's exactly what it sounded like. So I think you're right.
Great.
No worries.
You should check out my website. It's called No Better Audio.
Yeah.
And, but it's spelled KNOW. Better audio.
Yeah, which can be a little
I will
confusing.
Definitely try it out.
No, you're all good. You sound fantastic. Let's
sound great.
Let's dive in and have some fun here with my sister. We got a big one, a big email. We're going to read the whole thing. And it is okay that we say their name because they actually say it in the thing, which I didn't see when I first read it for some reason. But anyway, here we go. Let's get started. Hey, Wendy, says this email. First, I want to say that I don't need to be anonymous. It was a pleasure meeting you in Vegas and discovering your hidden talent in DDR. We had a blast, didn't we? I assume you did a Dance Dance Revolution session?
We did.
Okay.
We did. It was fun.
That's fantastic. I've been dealing with this issue throughout my career, and it's resurfacing. You know what? I got the absolute wrong music playing right now. It's like we're still playing DDR here for some reason. Anyway, says I've been dealing with this issue throughout my career. It is resurfacing. I figured it was time to write in because I really could use your expertise. The issue, working with a hidden illness or disability. I've been at my current job for almost 2 years now. However, it has been the same job or type of job for over a decade, and I consider myself an industry professional. I won't delve into the specifics of the industry because it's often boring and difficult to explain. However, I work in a graphics-related job. It requires me to be at a desk all day, with objectives focused on maximizing output while maintaining accuracy. I work from home most days and do all office workers. In short, I'm consistently producing quality work and have always ranked first or second in making the fewest mistakes in my department. And in parentheses, perhaps that's a humble brag, but it's the simple truth. It's a bit of a humble brag. It's fine, though. It's all right.
Mm-hmm.
We get those sometimes.
I love a humble brag.
Sure. You know what's worse than a humble brag? A non-humble brag. Okay.
Yeah. Right. Catching and acknowledging that it's a humble brag is far better.
Yeah,
Yes,
keep those
for
coming. Those are great.
Yeah.
It says, however, I work. Oh, no, I did that part. For the last several months, my supervisor has mentioned in our monthly meetings that my quality is excellent, but my output is lower than expected for my role. There are additional details to consider. For instance, she is the manager for customer service and lacks knowledge about my graphics or about graphics or my job. Graphics in caps, which I think means like the department. Yet she has created the metrics for my department. Additionally, my colleagues and I are compared to each other instead of working towards personal strengths and goals. This becomes challenging when some coworkers cherry pick or cut corners to achieve better metrics. I refuse to do this, but I understand it is the nature of the job, and someone always does it at every company I've ever been. I'm currently at level 2 in my role out of 3. That's pretty good. Mm-hmm. Unless that's middle. I don't know what it is.
Well, yeah, she goes into why that is a problem, which makes sense.
It says, however, I'm unable to meet and have ever met the metrics for level 2. I have requested immediately to be demoted back to 1, where I can meet all the metrics. While this is truly annoying and extremely frustrating, my biggest concern is I have explained to my supervisor several times that I have been both diagnosed and undiagnosed chronic illness that prevent me from living a normal life. This affects both job and life tasks. I have had a chronic sleeping issues and migraines my entire life, and they only seem to be getting worse with age. I describe it as living like a zombie every day because I'm walking around, but I don't fully feel present. I highly suspect that I have been living with ADHD as I experience most of the symptoms I have had for so long I can remember. Currently, I have FMLA for my chronic migraines, allowing me to fully excused day off one. Sorry, let me try that again. I have FMLA for my chronic migraines. I assume that's medication.
Family Medical Leave Act.
Oh, I thought it was like a medication. That's where my brain got all hung up on it. All right. Allowing me to fully excused day off every week if I have a flare-up, which I use responsibly. Use that day off responsibly. My supervisor insists that I am so close to meeting my metrics of my role that I just need to try harder. She said if I don't start meeting her metrics by the end of June, she will revoke my work from home privileges, forcing me to work in the office until I can meet these numbers. Working from home has been a great accommodation for managing my symptoms. I have explained that I am already giving 110% at work, leaving me exhausted when I check out or clock out. Often leading me to bed around 5 p.m. every night. I'm doing my best to manage my symptoms, but I'm not currently medicated on anything. I relate to your previous Therapy Thursday segment about empathy fatigue, which is likely a symptom of everything else happening in my mind. I have reached out to HR to see if my FMLA offers any protections and have requested once again to be demoted to level 1. I have clearly stated that this, this is an accommodation I am seeking. However, both HR and my supervisor, a very ableist language or using ableist language with me and having dismissed all my concerns when I bring up my chronic illnesses. They say, they still think it's a flaw in my performance and something that can be fixed, quote unquote, by trying harder. I'm currently seeking a new job, but similar situations have occurred in nearly every position I've held. I worry that changing jobs might not be my solution or improve it. Any advice is appreciated. Thank you for your support over the many years of Therapy Thursday. Signed, Stephanie Innepetz. She needs to play more mobile games. I think that would help. But anyway, that's an inside joke. Wendi, a big one there. Feels like also kind of common these days with, 5 years after the pandemic. The work from home mandates are weird now. It's like a weird. We're in a weird time.
Yeah. Very much
so where do you want to start with this one?
Well, first of all, thanks, Steph, for telling us all this. There's a lot here, and sharing your story. I think she's highlighting something that has long been a problem and then is particularly hard since these work from home things have shifted, right?
Yeah.
And that is, a chronic illness, one that's not visible specifically, has always been difficult for any system to treat well or with respect, or and that's what FMLA is for, right? So she's utilizing what currently exists. It sounds like wherever this place is, it just feels like hello.
Yeah.
It's just, she's saying demote me to the level where I can do it, and they're like, nah, just try harder. Is wild. And some of that, when somebody has no idea what it's like, they are, when she said they use ableist language, maybe we should define what that means a little bit.
Yeah, good idea.
So
because that changes sometimes, right? That gets redefined.
Yeah. And it can be, sort of just the discounting, just natural part of, regular people walk around living their lives. They're saying things that automatically include or exclude people who have different mobility issues or have different hearing or vision issues, right? And so the language is just, absolutely discounting that there's an alternative to just work really hard, right? Or an alternative to just hurry over there, or can't you see this? Or, you can imagine a lot of versions of this where it's the default language.
Right.
And it just does not take into account anyone's abilities or the variation in that, et cetera. So one thing Adam and I will talk about every once in a while is just the power of inclusive design. When you think about, let's take sidewalks for a second. Do you guys remember the day when sidewalks did not have the slope so you could, wheel something up on a wheelchair or a stroller or your bike or whatever? Do you remember those?
I
just remember them
those days,
quite a bit.
Yeah.
You just hit the curb, right? Or you jump off the curb.
Bikes were the big thing. Like, whereas like, all right, I want to get on that sidewalk. I've either got to jump my little Huffy up there, or I've got to put 100%. My feet on the ground and lift the front tire on. And
man, I love 100%. How universal the Huffy experience was for people of a certain age. We all had Huffies.
It really is. We all had Huffies. It was like you were practically mandated to have a Huffy.
You did.
Yeah.
And that was an example of ableist design. It was for those who were able to pick their bike up or step up or whatever, right? Inclusive design would be like, okay, we're going to make this wheelchair accessible so someone who needs the assistance of a walker or wheelchair can get themselves up onto a safe place like a sidewalk. And so that gets created, and then list 5 people who benefit from that. Ready, go.
Okay. Oh gosh. So people who are in wheelchairs, otherwise brilliant and perfectly capable of doing anything. Really, it's just their legs don't work. So now they can.
People with walkers or canes.
Yep. They can all participate.
People who just can't. There are people who can't lift their legs high enough. Tina's mom would have a really hard time getting up onto a curb that's that high.
So valuable resources as humans now have access.
Kids with Huffies.
Kids with Huffies. Think about babies, strollers, parents, grocery carts. Like blind any people, cyclists or humans that need to be safe from a road.
How do you get away though from this natural? I shouldn't say natural. Obviously, we recognize it, but the default human nature of I'm stronger than you. I will survive longer than you. I am genetically better than you because you can't do the things I'm doing. So therefore, because you're less than, I'm not going to, that's your problem, not my problem. Right. That feels so fundamental to human, the human conundrum. I don't know how you solve that. I mean, the fact that we can recognize it, it makes us better than apes, dogs,
recognizing it. Yeah.
Yeah. Or that's what I meant.
Okay. So this sidewalk example it illustrates this thing perfectly, right? Like, so somebody probably in a wheelchair had to demand that at some point. If you look at the history of the ADA and ADA requirements for buildings, and think of how you were shut out of the world of work and community if you couldn't get yourself inside of a building, right? So this is the age when that all changed. Please someone Google it for me, but it's not that long ago. And then the requirements, and every new building has to meet code, and you're switching an entire system that went from I just walk around because I'm 25 and healthy.
Sure.
And you just don't have any idea until somebody made their voice known and demanded change and enough, I mean, there have been various sit-ins and marches and protests and things historically that had to be done so that people with varying disabilities were seen. It's a very unseen group historically, right?
Yeah.
And so there is all that work that was done. And then the hard part here that is so frustrating, I'm sure, for anyone in the disability community, is everyone benefits from ADA. Every one of us have had to carry a heavy cooler or a box into a building, and you had a door open for you, right?
Right.
You had a ramp to go up. You had wider doors to move your furniture around. Like, everybody benefits from inclusive design. Similarly with web stuff, more accessible design on the web. I mean, let's talk about what are the subtitles. How many people don't need subtitles that rely on them heavily now? Right. There's some brilliant technology that's come about in order to benefit certain groups, and then they end up benefiting everyone. So this is what's tricky, is that I don't know if either of you ever sprained an ankle, like for real, or broken an ankle.
Oh yeah, big time.
Okay.
Right before we were putting carpet in, I did that, and Kim will never forgive me for it. Yeah.
Yeah, that seemed on purpose. Okay, but tell me this. Tell me this though. Had you ever in your life appreciated an ankle before until that moment? That
not at that level. I didn't, Yeah.
Yeah, it's required for literally everything.
Yeah.
I sprained my ankle really bad, and it took 3 years to rehab. But I'd like to just note, I produced 8 individual ankles inside of my body when I had children. But could I heal my own? No.
Right.
Isn't that crazy?
That is a wild thing.
It's crazy to think about. Yes.
8 ankles.
Wild.
But my piece of crap ankle, it took 3 years to be normal. I mean, so frustrating. So I think the human deal is that the empathy required to, like, you have to force some empathy into a person who has decision-making power to get where you need to go on societal level. Or people with power need to have that their own experience with, like, a twisted ankle to appreciate their ankle, or having a moment where they learn this. So Scott, you probably remember this. Our father one night we went and got ice cream at Dan's a lot. Remember that?
Oh my gosh.
And yeah, Scott was terrible with ice cream. But anyway, we would all go to get ice cream. And our dad was always trying to teach us different lessons. So he had us, and he would not be PC today in any way, but
no, he said all kinds
in
of
the
things
day,
that wouldn't have worked today, but yeah.
So he rented a wheelchair. He got crutches. He had one of us blindfolded, and he made all of us have a physical disability.
Yep.
And walked around the mall. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
To, like, be
I will
in public.
never forget that. It was a massive memory.
So we had a person guide us as young people to step in someone else's shoes and realize how inaccessible the world was. The ADA was not complete then, I don't think. At least it wasn't universal.
No, you didn't see it everywhere yet, I don't think.
So we were dropping crutches, pushing through doors, trying to keep our foot up, or, we were racing the wheelchair around. Obviously, we were children being crazy. But, I think I was blind a couple of the different experiments. Anyway, so we really had this, like, very, that right there. So we're going to go back to the emailer now, right?
Yeah.
You take having had this experience, especially something like chronic migraines, chronic fatigue, anything that is sort of this ongoing difficulty. It is an autoimmune thing usually. Flare-up is a really common word that we use for that type of thing, because it comes and goes, and it is not always predictable. Sometimes you'll flare up because of the weather shifting, and you are just out, right? And so it is really difficult to maintain work and maintain consistency and work like physically typical people are working. So this HR person and this supervisor has no idea what this is like. They've clearly never sprained their ankle, right? They've clearly not had chronic migraines. Or if they have had something like that, they think they've pushed through and they're better for it, and so you should too. That's another faction of this, right? But not these chronic levels, not these, anyway. So it's super frustrating. And when you don't have something physical on the outside to look at, to go, oh, I need to be nicer, or I should probably open that door for you, or, anything that activates their empathy, and it's just you didn't turn in enough things in time. The hard thing right now is that they then look at, well, you work from home, so you must be being lazy at home. Which, of course, is not at all what's happening. In fact, it allowed so many more people to work.
I was going to say, plus, usually the people who work from home are devoting more time to their work than they would if they were in an office, because there's not chit-chat, there's not breaks, there's no distractions. Right, exactly.
Yeah. And you can sit on a couch and chill out, but it's actually a higher burnout rate for folks who are working from home. And that's because that exactly the thing you're saying is there isn't a really good delineation between home and work and when you're on and off, right? So there are factors to pay attention on both sides, right? But when somebody, like, it feels almost like a medical requirement, which I mean, maybe that's the future of this delineation, right? For some, that it really is the best place for them. And it sounds like for Stephanie, this really is the best option. But you know what I don't love here? I don't love that she's feeling all this pressure, and then some days she just crawls in bed at 5 p.m. Like that's not good. And it sounds like she's communicating really clearly to everyone. So here's where this gets frustrating. And this is why we have so many lawyers, right? Is because if we can't communicate it clearly, we can't get a response. Often the reason anything has changed is because organizations get sued. Anything changes is because a lawsuit, enough people come together and, to create that kind of shift. And so now all the doors that we all enjoy and all the ramps we all enjoy and all of those things enjoy because people gave and we sued the crap out of stuff, and eventually it becomes just a norm and makes life better. So very irritating that it takes this much work.
Yeah, when
And I think
something
this is the final
becomes a
frontier.
norm and everyone's using it and benefiting from it, including those who maybe previously were critical of these changes, but now they just accept it as part of their life. Roads without potholes in it, working traffic lights, functioning sort of day-to-day public contract law type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I want to punch them in the face the minute they start talking about that. It's just like, well, what are you talking about? Like where do you think when you flush your toilet, your poop goes? Where do you think all this happens? You think it just disappears, but you're still Mr. Libertarian living in a tree up in the mountain somewhere and like, F off. Sorry, that makes me really mad.
This is why we need more field trips for adults. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We need whole groups of people to go walk through the water filtration system and to actually understand what this takes and to see the budget and to see what people are paying. I mean, most people just don't know how things work, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so in this case, she has reached out to HR to see if FMLA has protections for her. Here's what I hate to be saying, but HR is for the company. HR is never for people.
Right.
And so you need to reach out to a representative at FMLA probably, or some other organization level who advocates for folks with disabilities, and see what we got there.
Did they? They didn't get doged out of existence or anything, did it? Or is it still?
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, what?
I don't know either. I feel like a lot of stuff got hit, and I don't know what actually got hit.
I know.
So.
That's why we need a field trip. Everyone go and find out what actually happened and see that your information has been stolen by Doge. I think that's the tricky part, right? Is to know what to do next. I have. I will send this to her separately, but I have someone who is an incredible advocate in this area. Doesn't live in the same state, but is so tuned into this world because of the medical concerns in her family and needing to advocate for her children, and has on every forum you can imagine, right? I'm telling you, you find the advocacy Facebook and Reddit threads. Like this is where the hard work gets done, and find out what people have done and how they've operated, because it is, how many layers above this can you actually go, and what laws protect you? So, and your state's going to be different. I'm sorry to report to all Americans listening, but you are safer in some states than others. You have more benefits in some states
you could
than
be.
others.
You could
I don't know
be,
if you've noticed this.
You could be confined to a wheelchair and be the governor of Texas, and then still advocate for less rights for people. That's the world we live in right now.
Yeah.
That dude benefits from all of this stuff, but he'd sure like to throw it all away. What's he gonna do? Freaking push himself around? I guess he does with the wheels, but. Why is this stuff pissing me off so bad? It pisses me off.
Should we have a whole session for you?
We may need to. I'm so had it with this stuff, this hypocrisy, man.
Yeah.
It's killing me.
I know.
Anyway.
Can I tell you maybe I mentioned this before, I don't know, but it's this new thing it's a really helpful reframing for me, is the libertarian to how should things run, etc. I just really like this framing of, I want it to all be run like a household. Because in a household, you spend money for the benefit of the people in that household. You do not cut everything and act like it's such a nightmare to spend money on everyone that lives in your house, unless you have an abusive house, right?
Yeah.
But you budget and you think about it and you plan for the future and you're sensible, because the future also matters for the members of that household. Yeah. But clean water or healthy food is part of what you're budgeting for, or something, right? Like you can see the health of a system, such a different way to think about it than all the bull crap that it is. Anyway, so Scott, maybe next week we just have you write down all your grievances and
oh my gosh,
it's like Festivus here. I'll air my grievances.
Time for the airing of grievances.
I've got problems with you people. Yeah, I'll do that. No.
Yeah. So I would really encourage her. I'm going to find out if this other person's got some time and space and have them connect and see how they can maybe talk about some things, because this is just really common.
Yeah.
It's less common in some ways because some places do it well.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what's tricky. And so I am looking into another job, and I know you've had this before, but that might be one of the requirements that you really find out how they handle these kinds of things.
Yeah.
And ask around within the company. My favorite job story Adam ever had is he applied for this job and he got to interview probably 10 people on a team and asked everyone, what's the thing you like least about working here? And most of them named a person.
Oh, same person or different people?
Same person, because it was somebody over everybody and just said, it's really, and managers ruin your life. Like managers make a job or ruin a job for you. Like it's really common. Yeah. And so it's funny because he asked the right question. Everyone was pretty honest. And he took the job and then spent the next year complaining about this person to me. And I was like, I'm pretty sure they told you. So you need to believe people when they tell you. So find a way in any new job environment that you get to talk to coworkers and you get to ask for somebody who has any other, and obviously HIPAA and other reasons, they can't tell you who has disabilities, right? But you could find out, like, is anyone willing to talk to me? Yeah. Because I'd like to know how it feels to work here. You are providing a service. I think we're so built to think like, oh, I'm just lucky to have this job. And they're lucky to have you. And I know that sounds like, oh, wow, that's arrogant. And I'm never going to get a job if I go in with that. But they are lucky to have you. And you're giving them way more than somebody who doesn't have to struggle with these things is giving. So you need a place where you can be safe to do so and have these legal protections are there on purpose. I've worked with a few people recently on going back to school, some at older ages, some dropping out because of ADHD and some other things. They just couldn't do school. And I'm working with so many people on like, do you know there's an accommodation office at every university, at every little college? Because there are people who absolutely can do this, but they just need some accommodations. And most people have not heard that, which is wild. And I forget that as a social worker, I probably know things other people don't know. But it's really important to keep looking until you find the support that you need. And I get also saying that while you are exhausted is really, really hard to do. Yeah. So ask your support system to sort of help you with this. I'm going to send you somebody, and then, whatever else we can do to support you, because this is really tough and it matters. And this is your life. I think, you just get jobs and do jobs and live life, and man, jobs are life.
Yeah. No, they are. They're more of your life than we make it a huge percentage of our life. Yeah. It's so much of it.
Which sucks.
Yeah.
Right?
And we just don't, I don't know why it's so hard for everybody to get on the same page with this stuff. Here's the other thing I want to say. I don't want to get mushy or anything, but Stephanie coming to Vegas, I know was a massive thing for her to do. That was not an easy decision to make. It was going to be full of crazy noise and crazy smells and all the things that Vegas is an overwhelming,
crazy sensory input.
Yeah, sensory overload in that town.
Sensory overload.
Plus all these people you haven't met in person, and now we're all hugging and talking and hanging out and giving each other COVID and everything, and and all that stuff. And I just really admired that. Like I asked myself in my situation, I knew about her migraines prior to that. And I remember thinking, would I do this? I'm not sure I would. I think I may have chickened out. And she just really bravely did all that. And I just think that was awesome. So,
right. And she did Dance Dance Revolution with me, and she kicked my trash.
Yeah. I have video of you and me doing that in 2004 at that cabin for the family reunion.
Oh, wow. We were babies.
We were little babies. And so was the early John years. Oh, gosh. Anyway, well, that's fantastic. Stephanie, let us know how things go, and do reach out to Wendi via the site. And if you guys don't know what site I'm talking about, knowbetteryou.com.
Yeah.
Sign up for stuff. Be ready for new programs coming. You guys are in the thick of your time management course.
Yeah.
What? It's already started?
Yeah, Brian, get in there.
Just kidding. I've RSVP'd. I've pushed. So doing Father's Day dinner tonight because Tristan has to work on Sunday. So I've pushed Father's Day dinner to 7 p.m. or we're leaving the house at 7 p.m. tonight so I can be there for the
that is sacrifice. Today. Oh my God.
It's a happy sacrifice. I'm looking forward to making it. Yeah. I missed it last week, but I watched the video up until the breakout sessions, and then it just went dark for 20 minutes.
Did it really? Did it really go dark?
Yeah. Well, it didn't go dark, but it showed like who was in each breakout session, but I didn't get any audio from any of the breakout sessions.
Well.
Okay, well, I'm going to do it this time where I talk during that part so people can watch that. And then it comes back. You didn't see it when it came back?
It comes back, yes. I just didn't.
For 20 minutes, you just twiddle your thumbs.
Yeah.
Right. Sometimes I'm sure. I wish there was a way for me in a video to fast forward.
That's right. Just sit there and twiddle your thumbs and meditate. You're always saying we should meditate, take time for ourselves. So there we go.
Can I give you guys like a happy thought real quick?
Do it.
Of course.
Whatever you just said reminds me of this. Yes, everyone go to Know Better You and give me your email. Okay. So Pete's going to a little camp this next week.
Fun.
And he got his packing list. Yeah. And his packing list said no phones, no MP3 players, and like no iPod shuffles or something. And we were laughing so hard. Like they just have not updated.
How old is that list? Jeez.
I know. It was making us laugh. And Pete is a collector of old things. Let me just say that. And he has a record player. And he's like, Mom, please let me bring my record player. And I'm 100% for it.
Yeah, it doesn't
and the
say
best part
that's great.
Is we own 2 records. And just I have to look it up because I'm going to say it wrong. Okay, the song "Big Iron on His Hip" by Marty Robbins.
I love that song. Yeah,
we have that record, and then the other one is Depeche Mode.
What is it? What's the
Some Great Reward or the Violator probably.
Violator, Violator.
Yeah. So he's going to it's Violator, and he is going to he goes, what if I can get all the guys to dance? And I'm just imagining Depeche Mode on this record.
Screaming personal Jesus at the top of his lungs. That's fantastic, dude.
Oh, that's what we're doing here. Anyway,
I already liked Pete, but I like him even more. All right, awesome. We'll have a fantastic week. I know you're going to be here in a few weeks. 2 weeks?
Soon, 2 weeks, yeah.
2 weeks, yeah. Wendy will be here for a bit for, visiting family, seeing both sides, right? You got a lot to do while you're here. It's going to be fun.
We always do.
Yeah,
that's good.
But we look forward to it. And thanks for hanging with us today as usual. It's Wendy. Find her at knowbetteryou.com, everybody. Wendy, have a good one. We'll see you next time.
Thanks.
All righty. Brian, we have done it.
Yes, sir.
Let us... Oh, I have to... Okay, she left herself. That works.
She left herself.
It's kind of nice. Yeah, she left herself. She's now floating above her body. Soon she'll be back in.
It's like Doctor Strange and she's on the astral plane now. That's fighting Dormammu. Coming to negotiate.
The multiverse of sadness is where she is right now.
The multiverse of therapy.
There you go. Hey, we're done, everybody. That's the show. Reminders, Coverville around 3 or 4. Brian will let you know. Get in there, sign up at twitch.tv/Coverville, and then you'll find out when he goes live.
Already 81 degrees. So, I mean, it's, I'm getting in when the getting's good, but it's good practice. It's not like I'm guaranteed for it to be cool weather on the 28th.
No.
Like, it's going to be hot. So,
yep. No guarantee of nothing there. Ugh.
Exactly. So,
Las Vegas currently, by the way, 93 degrees. And, that's, they had a low of 81. So at 2 in the morning, it's 81 degrees, and I hope it'll be 107 today. So
I hope wherever the concert's at, Scott, you're staying in the very same hotel.
It's actually right across the street, but we should only have to walk it at night. I don't know, man. It's going to be hot.
Maybe, so when it's 90 degrees, that's good.
Maybe by then, because it is some kind of weird heat wave, I guess. So it's supposed to maybe pass by then. So I don't know, man. We'll see.
You're going to have a great time. You're going to have a much better time than I am.
I'm going to be pitting out. That's what I'm going to be doing. Anyway, but you'll be pitting out more than us. That's true.
I'll be pitting out more than you, for sure.
Dripping some chode butter down the bike, all that fun stuff.
Oh, jeez.
I took it there, didn't I?
It absorbs, dude. It's like
that's good. Yeah. You get like it's extra
lotion. It's basically lotion. Like if I do it the right way, I'm not just dropping it into my shorts. I'm like applying it and letting it absorb, and then I put my shorts on.
That's good. Nice and moisturized. Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing wrong with that at all.
Nothing wrong with that. Except for the visual that we've given everyone.
Yes.
Also, Core today at 1 p.m. We'll start then and hopefully not go until the end of time. There's a lot to sum up, though, because last week was all that game announcement stuff. We got a new handheld from Microsoft. We got a Switch 2 launch. We got all these games announced. There was so much stuff that we're going to try to disseminate in a reasonable amount of time. So check that out today at 1 p.m.
Forgot to ask you, did you end up getting a Switch too?
I did.
Or do you have
I don't have it here. It's
Okay,
upstairs.
cool.
Yeah, I ended up getting.
Cool.
I had basically resolved myself to be in the land of, hey, these are going to be really hard to get, so I may not bother for a while and just see how things go. But if one shows up, get it for core for review reasons, and also I enjoy them. Blah blah blah. Sure. And then Kevin, KT Data's out running around, and he goes.
Because he picked up 2, right?
Yeah.
No, okay.
Well, he pre-ordered one,
2.
pre-ordered 2, one for him and one for his boss. And then he was like, "They've got one here at this Target. Do you want me to grab it?" And I went, "That seems like a pretty good chance. Let's get it." And I Venmo'd him. He brought it over, and we were good. So, anyway, so I owe Kevin a huge thanks still for that. That's why we took him to dinner. It was like a thanks.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Thanks for the Switchy. Anyway, more on that. I have some games to review from that as well today. So Core's going to be big. Cool. If you want to check that out, you certainly can. That's frogpants.tv when we do it live, or check out Core at frogpants.com/core. TMS Friday will happen tomorrow. We'll have a quiz. We'll have some fun. We'll have some other stuff. Who knows what all we'll get up to. It'll be great. Some of your actuallys. I know we have a few of those.
Yeah.
We always do. And then Film Sack this weekend. I believe we are...
Starsky and Hutch.
That's right.
I watched it last night.
Are we playing...
Oh, is it a...
I can't remember now.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I think it is a... Is it a round table this week?
I think so. Let me double check. Yes, so...
Yes, because Double Trouble was last week. So yes, it'll be a round table.
It's our round table about comedies. And that's an exciting thing because we never do comedies really, not pure ones anyway.
No, and boy, I can't wait. Starsky and Hutch comedy going to be very difficult for us to sack.
Oh no, I haven't seen this movie, so I'm a little nervous.
That's right.
Yeah, and then then that'll follow after that. So very exciting stuff.
That's right, and it's also the 13th, so Wicked Kitten will be on the show tomorrow.
Oh, fantastic! That's perfect timing because you don't have a movie review. Yeah,
nope.
Plus, we like hearing about some gory things, so bring them on. That'll be great. Right. Anyway, that'll be what you're looking forward to for the weekend. Lots of stuff going on. That's it for us, frogpants.com/TMS. You'll find everything there, except for whatever song Brian's about to play. And then you'll find it there. But right now, you won't find it until then. Yeah.
Not yet. Yeah. Dustin Anderson wrote in, also known as PC Exterminator, says, I know this is late. I just heard you needed June requests. My wife, Vicky. He even put in parentheses, read as Borat. But you need to put that before the words my wife, so it's not my wife. Oh, read as Borat. Dang it.
Yeah.
My wife, Vicky, turns on June 12th. This year has already been a whirlwind trip. Coming back from a spring break trip away from the kids and buying a new camper, to getting the diagnosis that some surgery was needed late in May. Hysterectomy and hernia repair. Then finding out a stress test was needed before surgery, which led to a heart cath with results of clearing for surgery the next day. Jeez. Now she is on to the mending part and follow-up appointments. Whew. We can't wait to go camping later this month to try out the camper somewhere other than our backyard. No more tent camping. Signed, Dustin Anderson.
Screw those tents. I'm with you. Get a camper.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah. No kidding.
Yeah. Too old.
So he basically said it's my pick. He says my wife listens to a ton of different music from 70s to 80s pop rock to current music too. So you're really kind of opening the door for me to pick anything, and I appreciate you opening the door for me. And let me in turn let you open the door with a cover of "Let My Love Open the Door." Nice segue, Brian. Performed by M. Ward, the song covering, of course, the great song by Pete Townsend, one of the greatest songs that Pete Townsend ever wrote.
Is that Let My Love Open the Door? Is that the one?
Exactly the one that, yes. There's so many great versions of that song, and this is one of them. This is up there. This was recorded for one of those weird CDs you could get at Starbucks in the early 2000s called Sweetheart. Every Valentine's Day, there would be an album of covers, a CD of covers that you could pick up at the counter and buy right next to your double half foam macchiato.
I forgot about that. Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah. Of course, I picked up every single one of these, right? This is from the 2005 edition of Sweetheart. It is M. Ward. He's the he in the she, or he's the him in the she and him, by the way, with Zooey Deschanel, doing Let My Love Open the Door.
Roses are red, and I love to dance. When I'm looking for great shows, I go to Frog Pants. TMS.com.
How do you clean your feet?
You do not want to know.